Welcome to the City Hub studio, Mike and Simon. They're part of the Hike with Mike Foundation. Do you two want to introduce yourselves and what your sort of role is in the Hike with Mike Foundation and what sort of work you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Mike and I'm founder of the Hike with Mike Foundation. Ultimately, we're a mental health charity that supports people directly with counselling who might be struggling with their mental health, and we do that through the channel and awareness through hiking.
Cool. Perfect. How did the idea come about?
So I'm Simon. I more recently got involved after hearing from Mike what the foundation do, and wanted to be a part of it. Struggled with mental health myself in the past, and just seeing the benefits of what the charity does and how it helps people has been great. So just wanted to get involved.
Yeah, I've been doing a bit of research myself, had a look, and it does look really amazing. So well done with that. How did your initial idea about it come to fruition, really?
Yeah, so kind of over the years, I've kind of experienced kind of the challenges of mental health firsthand. So first, my brother, he'd been in the army for a number of years. He left the army, really struggled to adapt back to everyday life. He kind of lost his job. He couldn't find work. He lost his relationship, and he turned to substances, ultimately kind of costing him his life. After that, I lost two close friends to suicide. And they'd been waiting for help but couldn't get access to the help at the right time. Then when lockdown came, I was kind of really struggling myself, struggling for a purpose and kind of what to do with my life. And I knew I wanted to help people, but I wasn't quite sure how. Boris, the Prime Minister at the time, announced we were allowed to go for a walk a day. So I walked and then walked a bit more and started to feel a lot better. I invited some of my friends along and they started to feel better. We kind of thought we could make something out of this. So once lockdown was lifted, we started doing kind of monthly hikes, inviting people through social media. And then a few times a year we do bigger events, such as the Three Peaks, the Welsh 3000s, where we use these events to raise money. And then people who need therapy but can't access it in a timely way can come to us, and we fund 6 sessions in 24 hours. So it was born out of personal tragedy, but accepting I can't change the past, I can only help influence the future.
Yeah, I feel like it's a really inspirational story towards it, because obviously you've been through so much with it and then decided to make something really great out of it, so that's really good.
Thank you.
What sort of obstacles were you faced with when you were putting it all together?
So there was a lot of red tape. Obviously, at the time it was mid-COVID.
Yeah,
so
guidelines.
Guidelines, social distancing, so on and so forth. So that was a challenge, and essentially, we started with nothing but an idea.
Yeah.
I remember the first kind of hike we advertised, it was just me and my mate Gary who turned up, so it's nearly called the Hike with Mike and Gary Foundation, which doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Because we didn't have a social media presence, we didn't have the awareness, we'd got no marketing. No, and slowly and surely over time we've been able to build that, and now we've got a community of over 10,000 people. We regularly get up to 80 people on our hikes, and we kind of like to think that we've built not just a community but a family.
Well, yeah, so I bet even though obviously your work has helped so many others, you being able to even learn things like social media and marketing is really helpful in today's world with how it's all evolving around us.
Massively.
So that sounds like it's good that you've been able to learn skills like that. What does a typical hike with Mike walk? What does a typical hike with Mike walk look like?
I'll let Simon pick this one up, but normally it involves me getting everyone lost a couple of times. But.
Yeah, so one of the roles I took on when I joined was take on the navigating, because Mike gets quite a bit of stick for, in his words, adding on VAT on the hike. So, so yeah, it typically arrives advertised on social media with a meeting point, usually in the Peak District. Everyone arrives, meet and greet. Introductions to everyone. Mike kicks it off usually with a terrible joke, which sort of bit of an icebreaker. Makes a bit of a big point of mentioning that some people are new, some people it is their first time and obviously don't know anyone, and it is there to encourage people's mental well-being. So really just set the scene for everyone to talk to each other, to get involved, to break down barriers and make some friendships really that last and really help people in times of need. The walk itself is usually sort of 15 kilometres, stopping regularly to make sure everyone's okay, everyone's having fun, food and drink breaks, and then finishing off at a pub at the end for everyone has a drink. I think when you first started it, the drink was always on Mike, but as the sort of charity's grown,
Can't get
I guess, it's going to bankrupt him, so that's become a thing of the past. But it just shows that unity and everyone's all still together.
Yeah, it's a really good thing, because I'm guessing there's people turning up that maybe started off, you maybe have quite a few stories of people who started off really struggling with their mental health, and then the walks have really helped them break through those barriers, get social with people, and realising that there is other options out there.
Massively. So, I'm lucky enough to know, a lot of people through it, and part of that is kind of knowing the backstory and some of the struggles they've had. Seeing people with kind of crippling anxiety who, the thought of being around people terrified them.
Yeah.
But then seeing them, surrounded by people laughing and joking, making new friends, or
exactly.
someone who might have been lonely or come out of a relationship, and seeing them kind of build up new friendships, it's priceless.
Yeah, 100%. Are people able to bring their dogs on the hikes?
If they're well behaved.
And the dogs. Yeah, we actually run. Dogs tend to come occasionally. On the basis that the walks can be quite challenging, so it needs to be the right sort of dog on the main ones.
Can't be over-exercising the
But
dog.
then there are set walks more locally, which are aimed for dog lovers, dog walks for people in Nottingham as well. So it covers off both options. But
So there's obviously like other hiking groups around. What makes your walks you feel like different?
So, I guess fundamentally, just like other hiking groups, we meet up and we walk. That fundamental is the same. With us, I'd like to think it's the community aspect. We take safety very seriously, but we have a great big laugh along the way. It's not too serious. We support each other, and we have a great social scene before the hike, after the hike, and between hikes.
Yeah, so I bet you're able to see some really like good friendships forming at every single hike.
Absolutely.
How often do you usually do them?
So we normally do them once a month, and then typically 2 or 3 times a year, we'll also do like a bigger challenge. So Simon mentioned the ones in the peaks, so normally about 15k. We did one last year, last summer, which was 75k over 24 hours over 15 mountains. We can't do that every week because it takes about a year to recover from it. So we tend to do, like I say, the monthly ones and then the twice a year big challenges.
Big ones. Sounds good. And how is it that people go around signing up to join for a walk?
So it's all advertised via social media. So main followings through Instagram, constantly pushing out the message on Instagram to try and get more followers, more people involved. Quite simply, they sign up on through social media. The meeting points are all advertised, and essentially they meet up and we go from there.
Yeah, I guess it's quite good that it's so easy to sign up for it, because then if people are struggling, they obviously don't want to go through loads of effort to try find these places. But obviously you guys are marketing it really well, so it's quite easy for people to find and get involved.
Yeah, just a bit of a plug here as well. We're just getting the website rebuilt at the moment, so you can sign up for the website at the moment by sending us an email. There will be kind of ways to just enter a form, and you'll be auto-enlisted as well.
So obviously that'll be on the Hike with Mike Foundation Instagram, so go to the links through there. Do you do local walks for people without transport?
We do, yes.
Oh, nice.
So we normally, like I say, once a month do the ones in the Peak District, but we were getting kind of more and more demand for people who perhaps, are not quite fit enough to climb a mountain or to, go long distance. Perhaps are elderly, perhaps they've got, dogs, perhaps they've got, other arrangements. So we have actually started doing local dog walks.
Yeah.
A lot of people who come along don't even have dogs, so we kind of tend to do them around Strelley or Woollerton. And absolutely, we do that. What I would say for those who find transportation an issue, then we always kind of start up a group chat a couple of weeks before the hike, and we do a lot of car sharing as well. So if people can't get to the start point, then there's normally someone who can help them get there.
Yeah, it's a really good idea, because you've got the different levels, people on different mobility levels. Are you two able to turn up to every hike, or I'm guessing sometimes you're having to send other people out to help host them?
100% record attendance so far for me.
Oh, really?
But to be fair, one of the reasons we've got kind of Simon involved is to kind of help with that a little bit.
Hosting.
Yeah.
I think one of the benefits of organising it is you can pick dates that you can do. So you're in a beneficial position from the offset. But
normally around Nottingham Forest fixtures, to be fair. So I have to check the fixture list before booking a hike.
Make sure that you get back before the finish.
Absolutely.
Is it just men's mental health that you provide counselling for?
You want to pick that one up?
Yeah, no. In short, so I think there's obviously a lot of stigma around men's mental health, but essentially mental health in general doesn't discriminate. So nor do we on that basis of who it's to support. And so anyone that is struggling, anyone that wants to be in support, regardless of age, sex, gender. It's all everyone and anyone.
Yeah, perfect. It's really good that everyone can get involved with it.
Yeah.
What would you say was your like defining moment when you decided to start Hike with Mike?
I saw a quote that's always resonated with me the whole life, and it's a guy who basically said, you know, I always wondered why somebody didn't do something, and when I realised I was someone, and it's kind of a whole proviso with that. But so many times in our life, you know, we're faced with challenges and problems, and we kind of just wait for someone else to sort it out. And you know, having lost my brother, having lost my friends, I kind of realised that this is my calling. You know, I've got to do something. There's so many people out there doing it, but you know, if you're male aged under 45, statistically speaking, the biggest threat to your life is yourself.
Yeah. So it's just
you
all
know,
about
it's
taking the
and
plunge.
it's terrifying. So you know, the more we can kind of start those conversations, the more we can kind of reach out and allow people that it's okay to talk, it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to get support and ask for help, the better. And so I kind of wanted to use, you know, my profile and, you know, my kind of enthusiasm and skills that I'd got to kind of raise awareness. And it wasn't until perhaps after that I realised actually we can do more than just raise awareness. We can actually physically raise funds to help people.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Like, so obviously you've gone through from, I bet it feels like quite surreal from how you've gone through from that starting moment of literally just seeing a quote online and then taking all this action, how much it's expanded since then. So yeah, really good, really congratulations for that. Have you got any tips for new hikers?
That's a great question. So we have one guy who turns up to our hikes a couple of times. So he wears Air Force Ones, a nice Air Force Ones, and they start off white and they end up not white.
Yeah.
Wear sensible footwear. Don't wear Astros like one of our members, Harry.
Oh no.
I know, tragic on mud. Well, he hasn't fallen over yet, has he?
No.
Maybe he needs to as a lesson. Wrap up warm. You know, what I'd always say, particularly on the longer hikes, it's painful when you stop for lunch for too long, because then you kind of seize up a little bit and then you start walking again and you're full, you're cold, and you just want to go to bed. So I'd always say eat little and often, stay hydrated, proper footwear, proper clothing, and more than anything, enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, enjoy it. We're blessed to have some
See
beautiful...
it more as a fun thing, not a chore.
Absolutely, we're blessed with so much beautiful, you know, scenery, and being outside is, you know, scientifically proven to boost your mood.
Yeah.
And you know, embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. What advice would you give to someone who is currently struggling with any losses due to suicide?
Yeah. I think firstly, speak up and speak to everyone and anyone you can. And I've personally benefited from having therapy and know that by being honest with yourself and with others and talking up and sort of getting it off your chest, not bottling things up, which is very easy to do as a young, use the term young loosely now with you guys, but it is so important to talk about it. Trust the professionals. I think they're there for a reason. If you go in with the open mind of they do know what they're doing,
They've
get
seen
everything
it all before.
they have, and everything's not as bad as you think it might be. So I think it's easy to say, just talk up, reach out to anyone. The same with anyone who you're worried about yourself, reach out to them and just check in that they are okay. If anyone seems a bit different, then that can literally save lives by asking that question. So I think it's good to talk. So
Yeah, it really is.
talk.
Well, yeah, thank you, Mike and Simon, for coming into our studio today for an interview. Hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.